Hi everyone, and welcome to another quick video of mine. Now this is going to be a quick video and it's quite a novice video. Basically I'm just going to show you in the new version of Lightroom 5.3 how I would, basically this is my son, and the other day we went out. It was very freezing cold and I had to look after him, so I didn't get a chance to take many pictures, but I just want to talk you through quickly at why I edit a picture the way I do. Now when I look at this picture, it's nothing amazing, but you'll know yourself if you've photographed kids running around, and especially my son, you haven't got time to start focusing and recomposing and pissing around with your camera. You've got to walk around, and when we looked at this picture we just loved his expression. One thing I don't like is the spot here on his nose, so we're going to get rid of that, and what I'm going to do is, basically when I look at this picture I'm going to take it to something like that. Now I'll come back off of that straight away. Now if you look at that, the only reason why I did that edit that I just did, it can be colour, black and white, whatever you decide, was basically to draw your attention to his face. That is the only reason why I edited the image the way I did. And that's what I recommend you do when you get an image on your computer. When you first start editing, you struggle to know what all these sliders do. So what you'll do is you'll just move sliders and go like that, and I don't know, you might pull the highlights down, you might put the clarity up a bit, you might put the vibrance up a bit, and you'll go from something like so. But what I do now when I edit a picture, I look at the picture and I think, well, is there anything that needs fixing first before I do anything? And then once I've fixed anything that needs fixing, I'll maybe crop it, and then I'll start to tweak the image. But I tweak the image on what I'm seeing, and this is why, and I'm talking about it, and mine's not actually calibrated yet because I've just cleaned my computer and reinstalled OS X, so I need to calibrate it. So I'm sorry if it's not going to look right good, but this is why you need a calibrated screen, because if not, you're going to look at this picture and go, well, it looks a bit blue, so I'm going to warm it up. But then on your friend's screen next door it might look a bit red, so he's going to cool it down, and this is why you need a calibrated screen. But anyway, beside the point, I won't go ranting on about that. So let's now try and make this picture so that when we look at it, we're not actually looking at everything. I mean, if we look at this slide here, it's a bit distracting, and you don't just look at him when you look at the image. You probably do now because you've been looking at it for so long. So let's see how we can make this image very quickly as well, in like under a minute, if that. You want to be editing it and moving on, especially when you're photographing your kids when they're just playing. You don't want to sit there for hours editing pictures, and to be honest, this is how I do a wedding image anyway, the same sort of way. And I do use vignettes. I never used to like vignettes, but now I realise why so many people use them, because this is what this needs, is a vignette. We need to darken everything else and keep him roughly the same. But we don't want to be too aggressive with it, but that's what we want to do basically. So when we look at the image, we see that cheeky smile on his face, which is the image. Yes, it's in the centre. For anybody wondering why, that's because he came down the slide at I don't know what speed. Do you think I had a chance to quickly focus and recompose and put him up in top corner? Ain't happening. So that's why he's in centre. But otherwise, it wouldn't have been in centre. I would have probably put him up here somewhere and got rid of this crap out here, and we probably still do that anyway with the crop. But for now I'm going to leave the image as it is. So, and I'm only going to work with this one panel. So let's first thing when I look at it, I think it looks, the highlights, I didn't use flash, and if you look, I always expose hot. My exposures are always on the hot side. I always do that to get a bit of light in the face. Maybe the camera would have been like that out of the camera, but I always override it, and I always like a brighter image. That's just me, right? So we'll just pull the highlights down a little bit, and you can see the slide. We start to get some colour back into the image. Shadows I'm going to leave. I'm going to add a little bit of contrast. I think it wants a bit of punch. I may even pull the blacks down just a bit. Because it's my son, I'll put a bit of clarity on it, but only 5. Because it's a lad, Jack the lad. And I shall put the vibrance up quite a lot on this one. So if you look now, it's looking a lot more punchier. I'm going to warm it up too. I mean, I am doing this based on my uncalibrated screen, so if it looks a bit crap, I do apologise. And I'll just leave that like that for now. Now I'm going to go into the new tool in Lightroom 5.2. And basically I'm going to make a vignette. So I'm going to go down one full stop. This is not fixed in stone, so I can change it. And I'm going to draw a vignette round in. Well, no, it's not a vignette. Basically what we're doing is I can invert this as well for anybody who doesn't know. So now the background's got, he's gone darker. And as you can see, just that there, then you've got your feather on your vignette. So let's really feather it out. And we don't want to go something, you could go like that. And to be honest, a professional photographer would go, oh, look at that vignette. But a mum or a dad would really like it. I mean, I'm not going to go that aggressive, and you've seen the finished product is not that aggressive. But a mum and a dad would probably really like that because it looks okay. But for us, we'll just go down and we'll just darken it a touch. So that when we turn this on and off, it is, I mean, we still know there's a vignette there, but it's not so aggressive. But now, you tell me if you look at that image and think it looks better. I mean, I'm not going to do it anymore, so now we can also, we'll give it a look. I should have cropped it first, but I just didn't like that slide. So we could, I mean, I like the top of the slide, but we'll come in a bit more just to get, we'll leave that, we'll get rid, and we'll just put him up there. In fact, we'll, does it just want level in a touch? No, it's quite level. And there you go. So if you look at that image now, you'll see that if we just, I mean, that's the black and white version, but you'll see, in fact, I'm liking the colour version now, different to the black and white. And you can see, that's it. I mean, it's not a really interesting video, but it's just to show you how to look at an image and look at it and think, well, how do I edit it? And the reason why I did this quick video was, one, because I hadn't done one for a while and I thought I'd just do one, and two, because my mate come round yesterday. I was teaching photography not photography, but like how to edit an image, and he come on and he said, well, he didn't know how to begin to edit the image. He went, well, what do I do? Do I just move sliders because I can? And we all know that's what we all did at first. We just moved sliders because you can. Because you can add contrast, you can add sharpness, you can add, I mean, there's more we could do to this, but to be honest, that 30 seconds to a minute that you just seen is all I'd ever do. And I'd save it out now as an iRes JPEG and it'd get archived. It's just my kid when he was younger. I won't take any more time. I ain't got time to sit editing on the computer. Does that look a lot better than out of the camera? It sure does to me. Oh, hang on, let's just show you one more thing. And then, have we got the spot removal tool? Now I'm gonna, hang on, no, I'm on the wrong tool. We want this one. Let's go see if we can just, now this is the good thing about the new Lightroom. Hopefully we don't have to leave, because we can drag, no, that's a bit, we've got a feather here. I'm just going to leave it at that. It does want, it's not perfect. By the way, you press the H key to, oh yeah, that's what's on. So if you look at this one, because it's sampled a bit of black, that's where we've cloned. It's sampled a bit of black. So let's just move this and get rid of that bit of black. And now hide the bins, and you'll see that that looks a lot better. That's H key, by the way. So you'll see now we've got rid of that little spot as well, and we didn't even have to leave Lightroom. We didn't go, usually before you'd have to go to Photoshop. I mean, if we wanted to, we could go back into this tool and we could, let's just make the brush a bit bigger using the bracket keys, and we could just maybe drag across there and get rid of that. I mean, I don't know how this would go about doing this. Let's try, but I don't know if it'll, yeah, look. And basically I'm just clicking these nuts and bolts, and it didn't work that one, so let's undo that. But bearing in mind, if we click it and it hasn't worked, we press the H key, we can go see where it's sampled from. That's why that didn't work. So there you go. Let's click this one. Let's press the H key. Right, so that's not worked, has it? Because it's sampled. Just start again. That seemed to, let's better. Press the H key, and there you go. I mean, you didn't really have to take rid of them nuts and bolts there, but you can just see how powerful the new healing brush is in Lightroom. So if we go, I mean, this is not the before. Can we just... That's it. And then can we go... I've just undone all my work now. So we better go back. So we'll have to go like this. We'll have to go to this black and white one, and it won't stay reset. So if you have a look, you can even see that go round. Sometimes when you edit an image a couple of times, you can do a better job. Like that there now, to me, that one looks better than that one. It's just the crop, I think, to be honest. We press the R key and we give this one a similar crop, and just get rid and go like that. Now let's have a look now. Yeah, they're near enough the same now, aren't they? And that's it. So just make sure, especially for the new photographers that are coming in, when you get home and you edit an image, edit it for a reason and tweak it, and don't just move sliders because you can. Look at the image and think, how can I improve this image? If you're looking at it and you can't improve it, then there's no wrong with it. Go to the next image. But you will find out with a raw file, they usually need a little bit of contrast and a touch of vibrance and just a little tweak on each one of them just to make them look good. But I mean, to be fair, if you look at that, there isn't a great deal difference from the original. It's just a bit of contrast, a slight vibrance, and a vignette, so that when you look at the image, I mean, the good thing about these, they're all non-destructive adjustments. So if we go back in and we click on the thingy, we can go, right, we'll go down a bit more, and there you go. We've even gone a bit darker now, and to be honest, I'm quite liking that. And that's what's good about it. What I recommend is when you do your images is, when I do weddings now, if this was a wedding and say this was a bride, she'd just slid down the slide, which she'd never do, I don't think, but if she did and I caught that moment, I'd tweak it and then I'd go through all the images that I chose. So there might be 300 or 250 that I let the bride see, and then what I do is the next day or later on that day, I bang back through them again, because now I'm looking at that vignette, and if you look at it, I've darkened it down even more, and if you look away for 5 seconds and look back, you can't really tell there's a vignette there. It just looks good. It looks spot on, and that image to me now is fantastic. Anyway, I'm sorry I haven't been about for a while, but to be honest, I've been running out of videos to do. We are going to do a fair few this year, but you know, if you've got any requests and stuff like that, I don't know, I've had a couple of messages and that asking me am I still about and am I going to do any more videos. Well, you need to really help me to help you, and send me what video you want to see, because I've done a fair few and I just can't really think of what else to do. I can sit here doing videos like I've done this morning, which will probably be crap to a lot of people, but hopefully it'll help some of my subscribers. So you need to let me know what you want and I'll gladly do it for you. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.